Alright, so today I'm going to be setting some trusses and doing some subfloor, and then at the end I'm going to do some stairs as well. But this one is going to be actually for my grandpa. He is building this home here, and it's going to be a 0-step entry home. He's getting a little bit older and things, and it just makes a lot of sense to do this kind of home. So he actually lives 3 houses down, which is super nice, and if we have any questions or things, he's right there. But yeah, so you'll see him around and things like that. But I have never done this before. I've done, some joists and some subfloor and things like that, but I've never done an entire home and laid it out like this. So he's giving me the opportunity to do it, and I'm gonna obviously do my best and go a little bit above and beyond when I can. So we're going to just set the sill plate here first and get into it. The foundation, unfortunately, was just not the greatest. I think structurally it's totally fine, but it's just not level. I don't know if like the two ends of the form sagged or something, but there's a significant, it's about an inch lower side to side, and it's like bowed in the middle, so we had to do some shimming, which is unfortunate, especially at this stage in new construction. It shouldn't be necessary, but we did the shimming in a way where we obviously feel good about it, and it isn't going anywhere. But we're getting it leveled out here, which again we had to do a little more work than I'd want to at this level, but got to do it, and we're just going to set the sill plate and get into some trusses. Okay. So to start off the trusses here, there's going to be a stairwell down to the basement right on the edge here. Obviously we're just following the layout of the plans, but yeah, there's going to be a double right at the beginning here on both sides of the opening, and we're just going to get these set and popped in, and then set all the other trusses in here. Just lay them in here about where they need to go, and then we'll actually go out and lay them out and get them correct and actually nail them down in a minute here. So now that we've got them all in here, we set up a string line on the one side, and just to make sure obviously we're straight and also square, and we're just going to go one by one and get it set on our layout and pop 3 nails down into the sill plate to get them set for the moment. So now in the stairwell opening, we're going to set some smaller trusses here to span the gap, and I just like to put a couple 2x4 scraps on each side, and I can kind of set them in there before I get the hangers in and everything. It just makes it for sure level with the top, and it just is easier obviously with one person to do that before the hangers are in. Now we're going to move on to the subfloor the next morning, and we're just going to mark it at 47.5 and snap a line. I think it's better to have the tongue overhanging with the tongue and groove subfloor, and then we'll flush router it off at the end. So just at 47.5, we're going to snap a line so we stay consistent, and get the first piece glued and put down.
You're on your line going this way?
This way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
Just put one in. Wait.
So we're just going to temporarily tack it with some nails before we start actually screwing it, just so that we can keep moving. We are going to glue and screw this. I think the screws are considerably better, and it also, we have a gun where you can stand up and do it, and it saves on your back as well. So we're just going to get the first couple rows tacked in here to get going, and then we'll just get on to some fulls. So my cousin here is also helping, just carry some sheets while he was doing something close by. And yeah, you'll just see whether it's my aunt or cousins or grandpa or whoever is just out here, and it's nice to just be around. And you know, it's kind of a family thing as well as obviously we take it seriously, but it's also, you know, my grandpa's on the screw gun, and just anybody, anywhere, anytime is just helping out and doing what we need to do to get this thing done. So it's nice to just be around family while we're doing this. I wish we would have made some kind of jig to make a square edge on this, so I could just make one mark and set the track saw up there and just go. But I just made 2 marks for this. Obviously, if we were doing this more often, we'd make something like that. But for this, we just did 2 marks and then set the track there and cut it.
83 1/4. Got it.
I'll tell you one thing though, my grandpa is a very hard worker. He's, you know, getting up in age, and I don't think there's too many guys on a hot day like this in the sun putting in work like he does. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's done a lot of things in, you know, construction related stuff, but he is still, you know, going strong and doing what he can when he can. So I definitely look up to him a lot in that way, and he just keeps going. So now we've got the subfloor down, and I'm going to go around, and it's mostly just on this backside that I need a flush router, but I'm just going to go anywhere where I'm slightly off. I would rather be a little bit heavy on my cuts and then come back with the router rather than the other way and be a little bit shy. So I wasn't perfect everywhere, but with this it made it easy to just make it flush. So the city inspector wanted there to be no wood to concrete contact, so they're going to pour right up to the trusses here and the subfloor. There had to be some kind of divide between wood and concrete, or from what, you know, he was saying. I was thinking you would just do like some 3/4 ply and make up the gap, because there's a 3/4 gap between the edge of the foundation where they poured and the trusses. That's just, they're 1.5 inches shorter than the opening. So obviously concrete, would just pour down there, because you have to cover it somehow. I was thinking it would just be ply or something like that, but we just bent some pieces to cover up the gap and nailed them on. So we'll see what he says about that and what the concrete guys say about that, but that was kind of our quick fix, since it was kind of, you know, tomorrow they're pouring. We had to, you know, make something up. So this is our idea. Never, seen what other guys do. I haven't really been around stuff for zero-step entry homes, so I don't know what people normally do, but this is what we're doing.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
So now that I've got all that on and we're about finished up with the day, they had these stairs that my grandpa had cut out before, so I needed to do a couple things with it and add the ledger, and at the bottom cut out for the bottom plate there and put on these hangers, but we're going to get them set for him and get him access to the basement.
You're far enough there. Okay. Go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, keep coming. It's not bad. Hold it. Yep. Okay. I'm getting old. Okay. Can you push it up against here? You got it there for a second?
Yeah, so that's it. Got the stairs set in and all the subfloors done, and we're ready for concrete the next day. Again, this is just kind of my way. Obviously, we did it to code and a little bit better, but this is just kind of how we did it, and I think it turned out well, and we'll keep going on the project.